Imagine ruling the most powerful empire on earth. Armies obey your every command. Millions fear your authority. And then one day, you order your soldiers to attack the ocean. Not metaphorically, literally, the waves. And afterward, you declare victory and tell your troops to collect seashells as spoils of war. This actually happened, and the man responsible was one of Rome's most infamous rulers, Caligula. Welcome to Wild Stories After Dark, the series where real history somehow manages to be stranger than fiction. Today's episode, the emperor who went to war with furniture, seashells, and possibly his own sanity. To understand how Rome ended up fighting the ocean, we need to start with Caligula's childhood. Caligula wasn't born into chaos. He was born into fame. His real name was Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, the son of the beloved Roman general Germanicus. As a child, he traveled with his father's legions and wore a tiny military uniform. The soldiers adored him. They nicknamed him Caligula, meaning little boots. It was meant affectionately, but the cute nickname would one day belong to a man who terrified an empire. When Caligula was young, Rome's emperor was Tiberius. Tiberius ruled with suspicion and paranoia. Political enemies disappeared, noble families were destroyed, the Roman elite lived in constant fear. Caligula grew up watching all of it. Then tragedy struck his own family. His father died suddenly under suspicious circumstances. His mother and brothers were later arrested and exiled. Some historians believe Caligula learned a brutal lesson early. Survival meant playing the political game. And he played it very well. When Tiberius died in 37 AD, Caligula became emperor at just 24 years old. At first, Rome loved him. He was generous. He gave bonuses to soldiers. He held public games. He cancelled certain taxes. After years of Tiberius' gloomy rule, Caligula seemed like a fresh start. But that honeymoon didn't last long. Only a few months into his reign, Caligula became seriously ill. Ancient sources don't agree on what happened. Some say it was a fever. Others suggest poisoning. A few modern historians think it might have been encephalitis, inflammation of the brain. Whatever the cause, when Caligula recovered, something seemed different. The generous young emperor was gone. In his place was a ruler who increasingly behaved in shocking, unpredictable ways. He humiliated senators publicly. He demanded to be treated like a living god. He reportedly had statues of himself placed in temples across the empire. And according to several ancient writers, he began indulging in strange displays of power. One of the most famous stories involves his horse. Caligula owned a horse named Incitatus. But this wasn't an ordinary racehorse. According to historians like Suetonius, the horse had its own marble stable, its own ivory manger, even servants dedicated to caring for it. Some accounts claim Caligula planned to appoint the horse as a Roman consul. Now historians debate whether this actually happened, but many believe the story had a purpose. It may have been Caligula mocking the Roman Senate. His message may have been simple: my horse could do your job just as well. And honestly, some senators probably suspected he meant it. But the strangest moment of Caligula's reign came during a military campaign. In 40 AD, Caligula prepared for what was supposed to be an invasion of Britain. The Roman army marched north toward the English Channel. Soldiers expected battle. Warships were prepared. Legions gathered along the coast of Gaul. And then Caligula gave an order that left everyone confused. Instead of invading Britain, he commanded his troops to line up along the shoreline. Then he ordered them to attack the sea. Yes, the sea. Some sources say soldiers were told to stab the water with spears. Others say they marched along the beach in formation. When the bizarre exercise was over, Caligula declared victory. His soldiers were then instructed to collect seashells. These shells, he claimed, were spoils of war taken from the ocean itself. Why would an emperor do something like this? The answer is complicated. Ancient Roman historians, many of whom despised Caligula, portrayed him as completely insane. They described him talking to the moon, ordering executions randomly, demanding worship, humiliating the Senate, demonstrating absolute power, showing that he could command anything, even the sea. And his soldiers would obey. Caligula once ordered the construction of a massive floating bridge across the Bay of Baiae in southern Italy. Hundreds of ships were lined up side by side. Planks were laid across them. The result was a temporary bridge stretching miles across the water. Then Caligula rode across it on horseback wearing the armor of Alexander the Great. Why? Because a fortune teller had once said he had about as much chance of becoming emperor as riding a horse across the Bay of Baiae. Caligula built a bridge just to prove him wrong. It was a spectacular display of wealth and power, but Rome's elite were growing tired of the emperor's behavior. Caligula insulted powerful senators, threatened rivals, executed political enemies. By 41 AD, a group of conspirators decided the emperor had to go. One of the key figures was a Praetorian Guard officer named Cassius Chaerea. According to ancient sources, Caligula had mocked Chaerea relentlessly. Eventually, Chaerea joined a conspiracy to remove the emperor. In January of 41 AD, the opportunity came. Caligula was walking through a palace corridor after attending public games. The conspirators surrounded him, and the emperor who had once commanded Rome to attack the ocean was assassinated. He had ruled for just under 4 years. After his death, the Roman Senate briefly considered restoring the Republic. But the Praetorian Guard had other plans. They quickly declared a new emperor, Claudius, Caligula's uncle. Rome moved on, but Caligula's reputation never recovered. For 4 centuries, he has been remembered as the ultimate symbol of imperial madness. The emperor who made his horse a politician, built bridges to prove fortune-tellers wrong, and ordered Rome's greatest army to wage war against the ocean. But here's the fascinating part. We may never know how much of it is true. The surviving accounts were written by historians who disliked him deeply. Some stories may be exaggerations, some may be propaganda, and some may have been strange political stunts misunderstood by later generations. But whether Caligula was insane, a master provocateur, or something in between, one thing is certain: few rulers in history have left behind stories this bizarre. Because sometimes history isn't just dramatic. Sometimes, it's completely unhinged, and occasionally, it's an emperor declaring victory over the sea. Before you go, if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you more strange, unbelievable, and wild stories from history. And trust me, there are plenty more stories where this one came from. So hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Wild Stories After Dark.